So let's get right to meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Thomas, tell us some good news about this Wednesday.
Why do you want to celebrate Wednesday?
Because it's going to be warm.
Yeah, that's right. I've been kind of shouting this out for the last week or so that we were looking at our first 60-degree days of the year, and they're going to come in bunches in our early term forecast here, including for today. We are now just past sunrise, starting to look great outside. However, there are still a few spots that we're reporting some patchy fog. Looks like it's just starting to lift in Coeur d'Alene. I think some of the fogginess was also towards Airway Heights, but I think it's very few and far between, but a couple spots definitely got some lower visibilities. Most everybody is above 40 degrees, save for Spokane and Sandpoint. It was as warm as 50 this morning in Grand Coulee, just actually slipped back to 49. So not much happening on Doppler radar. You might be seeing a little bit of rain way off to the west, but that should not disturb any of our area for today. We're just expecting partly cloudy conditions this morning into mostly cloudy by this afternoon, but look at those temperatures. Should easily be in the 60s most everywhere across the inland northwest, and I'll be showing you how much longer the very spring-like conditions are going to last. It's all in your forecast in a few.
Calling law enforcement should be a last resort for local schools. At least that's according to some policy and procedure documents from Spokane Public Schools.
KREM 2 has been investigating the district's response to violence impacting children at local schools. Police, parents, and teachers voicing concerns about on-campus crime reporting and the lack of law enforcement on campuses. So KREM 2's Malia Kamal live this morning at the SPS headquarters to take a look at the newly amended procedure documents from the district. Good morning, Malia. What can you tell us about these developments?
Good morning, Tim. Now, just this month, SPS, school board, and the district amended documents that discourages teachers from reporting reporting violent crimes to the police. Now, campus safety procedures were adopted in 2017 and are currently in the process of being updated. KREM 2 obtained the most recent draft of some procedures being considered by the district as it relates to crime reporting. According to the draft, no law enforcement officer or resource officer shall be requested to act as a school disciplinarian. Disciplining students is the responsibility of the school's principal. It also reads that SPS administrators shall prioritize and document alternatives to police involvement. Using law enforcement should be the absolute last resort and only for incidents where there is a serious threat to school safety. The amended documents were presented at a school board meeting and signed by the superintendent on March 9th. Now, just a few days later, when we interviewed the district's communication director, she says that the school district does encourage reporting crimes to police.
If there's ever an issue with any assault on schools or on a student at a school, teachers should definitely feel safe to call 911.
So there is no policy in which teachers are told, don't call 911, come to us first?
No, I believe there's no policy with that.
Now, KREM 2 has been reading through these documents and the policies on the Spokane Public Schools website. From what we can tell, the policies relating to law enforcement have been removed from the website. Now, we do have these documents and procedures on our website, krem.com. Live in Spokane, Malia Kamal, KREM 2 News.
Well, a Spokane mom and her teenage son are behind bars this morning after being accused of committing a drive-by shooting in North Spokane.
Yeah, it's kind of a wild story. Several other teens were in that car, including one who lived at that house being targeted. KREM 2 spoke with a woman named Christy who says her daughter has been living with the mom and son. When the drive-by shooting happened, Christy says she recognized the car. She called 911 and a short time later, Spokane police pulled it over. The mom was in the driver's seat with 6 other teens in the car. One of them had a gun in his backpack. The mom and the teen were arrested. Christy's daughter was not.
I'm shocked. I'm still completely shocked. And I'm shocked that my daughter would bring these people here. My daughter was with them. Like, she brought them here. They had no idea where we lived.
Now, Christy says her daughter messaged her dad saying that there are more threats coming. Christy's daughter is still living at the house with the other teenagers.
It's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development announced more than $4.3 million for Spokane. The money will provide funding to help people and families experiencing homelessness move into permanent housing with access to supportive services. The money will also fund domestic violence support projects. The Department of Natural Resources is closing a section of public land for target shooting for public safety. Starting today, the Stone Lodge near mile marker 19 in Stevens County will no longer be open for people to target shoot due to growing residential presence. Now, the department says there are high accident concerns with more people in the area. Workers at a Seattle Starbucks are celebrating this morning after becoming the first unionized Starbucks in Washington state. The vote was unanimous. At least 140 stores across the country filed paperwork, including 8 in Seattle. Starbucks has not commented on the vote. In the past, they have fought unionization attempts, and that's a look at your morning rush.
Well, today it's the Cougs versus the Cougars. The WSU men's basketball team will face off against BYU in the quarterfinals of the NIT. They're playing for a trip to Madison Square Garden in New York and a spot in the semifinals. You can watch that game tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. Well, get ready, GU fans. The day is almost here. The Zags are getting ready right now in San Francisco for their big matchup against Arkansas tomorrow.
And KREM 2 is your place for all things Gonzaga. KREM 2 Sports Director Brenna Green is in San Francisco right now with a preview of what we can expect from the team today.
Welcome to the Bay, coming at you right now from the Oakland airport. Today is the day we get to talk to the Zags again at give or take around noon. We will have a full wrap up of that tonight at 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. And also, it's Zag Dad's Day. Yeah, if you paid attention to social media at all, there was a very big shirt that went around that said Zags Got Dads. It was a take on Zags Got Dudes, which a lot of people have said over the last few years. It's kind of become a program catchphrase per se. Anyways, all the dads of Gonzaga players got shirts that said Zags Got Dads for the second game against Memphis, and it just absolutely went viral, took social media by storm. I talked to the dads about their bond, and that is going to be a super, super fun story that we have for you today. And by the way, there may be some trash talking about their sons in there. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, we will see you today from the Bay. See you later.
Now, Brenna wasn't the only one traveling, as yesterday the men's team hopped on a bus outside of the McCarthy Athletic Center headed for the airport. Along with the team was the cheer squad, family members, Gonzaga staff, and the band.
I would have been pretty bummed out if I didn't get at least one more crack at it.
The last 2 years or 3 years, the band has just continued to build up their energy for coming back. And so the Gonzaga band was already pretty well known for bringing a lot of energy to games, but I feel like somehow this year specifically, we have just absolutely pushed that out of the water with our excitement to be here.
Meanwhile, the Gonzaga Bulldog Band is back on the road with the men's basketball team. And if you really think about it, it's a big deal because the last 2 years they had to stay behind due to, the cancellation and then also the COVID restrictions. Senior band members are relieved they get to perform in person for their final year. While at the same time, they're also training up-and-coming new band members since many of them are actually traveling with the team for the very first time.
And again, the Zags are taking on Arkansas tomorrow on KREM 2, and tip-off is set for 4 o'clock. And don't forget, we have a full day of coverage on KREM 2, and you can join us early starting at 3 o'clock for a Bulldog Madness special. And right after then, we'll have a special edition of the KREM 2 News at 3:30 leading into the big game. Plus, in about 15 minutes, we'll share how some fans are also hitting the road to see their team play.